everyone, I'm Vincenzo Calla, and welcome to Top 5 and 5. Today I'm joined by the Green, NDP, and Conservative candidates for Nepean. So my riding of Nepean. So first we have Gordon Kubanek, the Green Party candidate, Sean Devine, the NDP candidate, and Matt Triemstra, the Conservative candidate. Unfortunately, Chandra Arya declined, the MP and Liberal, but we're going to have a great chat anyways. So thank you all for joining me today. So first, let's get right into these questions. So one is, what is your favorite book? So we'll start with you, Gordon.
The most famous Canadian in the 1930s with this guy called Grey Owl. His real name was Archie Bellini. Look him up. The only Canadian who got to see the King of England in the 30s. He wrote a book called Tales of an Empty Cabin in 1936. He was the Canadian's really first famous environmentalist and is today completely forgotten, which is too bad. So look it up, Tales of an Empty Cabin.
I've never heard of him, so I'll have to look that up after this interview. Sean,
Figured that.
Favorite book?
Well, I'm really bad at having favorites of anything, and I am a writer, so I should read more than I do. Usually, I read the book that my wife just finished, because while she's reading it for months in bed, I can tell that it's really, really good. I just read this novel. It was about mental health in isolation, and boy, oh boy, was that relevant. But more than reading books, what I really love reading, I love reading newspaper columnists, and some really good ones. My favorite newspaper columnists are Paul Wells with Maclean's and Cathay Kelly, the sports columnist with the Globe and Mail. The way that they can synthesize stuff in such beautiful writing and that they can churn this out like in a day, that blows my mind.
Newspaper columnist works too. So definitely. So Matt, your favorite book?
Yeah, I'm going to go in a completely different direction, and I'm going to totally geek out for a minute. My favorite series, bar none, it's called The Sword of Truth by Terry Goodkin. It's just really well-written fantasy. I read to escape the world, so I love to read. It's a great series.
Definitely. As people who are watching this know probably already, if you've watched my other interviews, I love reading. I read all types of different books, so reading is great. And thanks for sharing some of your favorite books and newspaper columnists. So the second question is, what is your favorite food? So Gordon?
I spent a year teaching in Australia, and I learned to love fresh scones with something called clotted cream and fresh raspberries. And we drive around Australia and you'd be in the middle of nowhere and guaranteed there were fresh scones. And I have lusted after them ever since. Of course, it helped that it was always sunny and beautiful weather. That didn't help. That didn't hurt at all. That
sounds really good. Sean?
Well, so I love cooking. I'm a pretty good cook. During the past few weeks, I haven't had time to do much cooking at all, obviously. But no matter how good a cook I am, my wife's spaghetti and meat sauce is my favorite. Like, there are the days when I come home from any kind of way of a tough day, and when I smell that is like instant comfort and ends the day wonderfully. So that's my fave, and I'm fat because of it.
Matt, what's your favorite food?
Listen, my wife has to cook anything with onions and garlic, and I'm instantly in love with it. But fajitas, bar none. So fajitas are my favorite food. Listen, I've gone completely dairy-free in the last year. So having fajitas without cheese, without sour cream has been a really hard truth for me. But fajitas all the way.
Well, luckily, Lone Star and Barhaven has some really good fajitas, so we're good with that. Luckily, right here in Nepean, we have some good fajitas. So second is, third now is, what is your favorite hobby? Gordon, I'll start with you.
I now write children's stories, and as Sean knows, because I gave one of my children's stories, this one's on Amazon, by the way, The Teacup Tree, written about my neighbor, and I've been reading sort of rather, they call doomer kind of news about the climate for a long time, and writing keeps my sanity, and it's joyful and wonderful, and I give books away. I have like a whole box full of little books right here, and every time I see a family or a kid, I give them a book like I gave to Sean, and it's my happy time. And so sanity, yay.
Definitely, we need to, again, mental health is important. Do what we need to do to keep us happy during this tough time. So Sean, what's your favorite hobby?
Yeah, I've got Gord's book because I signed Gord's nomination papers when he came to my house, and he
Thank you.
dropped off a book later, and my wife read it, and my wife loves it. My favorite hobby. So when the pandemic started, I took my guitar out of the basement for the first time in about 10 years, and that has saved me. I've learned about 75 songs since then. And what happened was my neighbor, who I only really knew from dropping off our kids at the bus stop, he'd walk by and I'd be playing guitar on the front porch. And he said, "Hey, you're pretty good. I play drums." And since then, my neighbor and I have formed a band, and we've played driveway concerts all over the neighborhood. We've had COVID-safe crowds, but that is now my favorite hobby, like rocking out on driveway concerts.
Matt and Gord, do you play any instruments? Then maybe you can make a Nepean Candidates band. I don't know, maybe some sort of thing. Nepean
Unfortunately, no
plus
instrument that
Sean
belongs in a driveway concert. So.
Singer. Maybe taking out the garbage bins on your driveway sometimes make some funky noises. So, so Matt, what's your favorite hobby?
First, though, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to raise a point. Gordon had a prop in his interview. I don't think that was allowed. So
Doesn't matter.
I'm going to go get my guitar right now. I'll just go get my guitar.
My favorite hobby, honestly, we are a family that loves board games. We have a problem. We have too many board games. Our go-to game is Settlers of Catan. We taught all of our three of our kids at young ages to love games, and we love connecting over board games.
Definitely, I have too many versions of Monopoly. I can tell you that, so I can definitely relate. I probably have upwards of 10 copies of Monopoly, different versions. But yeah, that's enough of my Monopoly stories. What is something that you have always wanted to do? So maybe it's something that you've never done before, some wild trip, whatever. So Gordon, what is something you've always wanted to do?
Well, I always wanted to write, and getting sick gave me the opportunity to write because I really couldn't do anything else. I campaign, but I can't go 8 hours a day. My heart doesn't allow it. So 2 hours is my max, and then I take a break. But I can write, and I've been writing, and now I've been writing kids' books. I got about 10. Awesome. And so I'm really happy. And when I do that, I just want to be able to say, imagine your gravestone, and it said on the gravestone, he did his damnedest. You know, that's it. I did the best I could. That's it. And that's it. I did my best.
Definitely. And Sean, what's your favorite? Oh, what's something you've always wanted to do?
I want to jump out of a plane, Vincenzo. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of heights. Like I can't drive over a bridge without like gripping the wheel so tight. So I've got a real height vertigo thing, but that makes me want to jump out of a plane. I think it's because I want to be able to take that ultimate risk. Perhaps it would conquer a fear. I don't think I would conquer the fear. I don't know if I'll ever do it, but if somebody calls me up and says, "Let's go," I might get in the car.
Well, good thing you're in Nepean and you're 25 minutes away driving from Parliament, so you don't have to go on a plane every couple of days to go back and forth from Parliament if you're elected. So good thing about that. Matt, what is something you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, listen, I want to take my family to Italy. We had a trip of a lifetime booked, and guess what? It got canceled because of COVID. And, that was devastating. And now my son, who picked the location, now he's kind of moved past Italy, and now he just wants to go to a tropical beach. So I'm not sure if we'll go as a family, but I'd really love to take my family there.
Definitely. Hopefully after COVID is over, we can all take our big vacations again. I'm sure mostly everybody I've talked to had a vacation planned for summer of 2020 that was canceled, including myself. So I'm looking forward to 2022. Hopefully we can travel by then. So last question is, what is one piece of life advice you want to give? Just a quick piece of advice. Gordon, you can start.
So many. I'm just going to choose this one randomly. It's really not about you. You find yourself. I'm a third order Franciscan, so I have a Christian path. And you find yourself when you lose yourself. So walking that paradox of losing yourself, and then you find yourself for others. And when you do that, you just sort of zone out, and you're just so happy because it's not really about yourself, it's about you.
That's deep. That's deep.
It works. It absolutely works.
It works.
It's practical, okay? It's super practical.
For sure, for sure. So Sean, piece of advice you want to give?
If I had one piece of advice, I would say it's 2 words: don't wait. Time is the only resource that we cannot create more of, and so don't wait. Whether it's if you want to run for office, if you want to start a family, if you want to get more involved in your community, if you want to write a book, if you want to jump out of a plane, if you want to go to Italy, if you want to change something, don't wait. Just do it. You won't regret it.
For sure. And what's the worst that can happen? Oh, I had a bad.
Well, if you jump out of a plane, you could, there's a lot that can happen.
Yeah, I guess, but as long as you.
What's the worst that could happen?
Maybe I shouldn't have chosen those words, but oh well. Matt, piece of advice?
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go with 2 words as well. Be kind. You don't know everyone else's story that you meet, and you may want to, rage out because of how somebody treated you, but you don't know their story. You don't know what they've been through, and you are going to get further in life simply by being kind. So that's what we teach our kids. We would be better in politics as well if everybody was kind.
Definitely. If we had a calm house where everybody was nice to each other, that would definitely be more appealing to more Canadians. But sometimes the banter is fun to watch. But yeah, be kind in life, everything. So that is all for today. Thank you all for joining me today. I'm really happy that we got this panel together. Not everybody was able to join, but the 3 of you joining, thank you so much. I've always wanted to do this, so it was great. If you like today's interview, make sure to go check our my other interview with today's guests on YouTube for Let's Discuss Politics. To stay updated, make sure to follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and here on Instagram at VCalla 2021. Check my website out at vincenzocalla.com. Make sure to like and share this video. Make sure to also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Choose to get notifications. The link is in my bio. So until the next video, I'm Vincenzo Calla, signing out.